Welcome to QuickBook Summary. I'm Martin, and today we're unlocking the brilliance of Joanna Jast's insights. Short on time? No problem. We're here to distill wisdom from books into snackable takeaways. Joanna Jast has a knack for turning complexity into clarity, and we're bringing it to you. Life lessons, strategies. Get ready to absorb the best in minutes. Hit subscribe for more bites of enlightenment. You can also visit our website quickbooksummary.com. Let's dive into Joanna Jast's world. Stay curious, stay wise, let's roll. Introduction. Today, it's common for people to think you're not working well if you're not doing many things at once. People often try to do different things altogether. For example, while you're looking at your phone, you might also be chatting with a friend and working on something for your job, but it's surprising that you feel really tired later on. This happens because doing many things at the same time makes you feel worn out. Did you know that 40% of the time when you're trying to be productive, you actually waste time because your brain gets stuck when you switch between tasks? This is something we should change. Instead, try to focus on just one thing at a time. It won't make you so tired, and you'll also finish your tasks better. To do well, it's important to concentrate strongly on one thing. Chapter 1. What is focus? How does it work? In this chapter, we're going to talk about something really important. Focus. A lot of people really need to have good focus, but you know what? Focus can be quite tricky to achieve. It's basically about paying attention to one thing for a longer time. But the thing is, having good focus doesn't work the same for everyone. It's not like there's a single way that fits everyone perfectly. What does that mean? Well, it means that being focused is a skill you have to learn and get better at every single day. And it's influenced by different things like the situation you're in, the things you're good at, and the place you're in. Now, let's talk about two types of focus: automatic attention and intentional attention. Don't worry. These might sound fancy, but they're pretty simple. Automatic attention is like a quick burst of focus. It doesn't last very long, usually less than a minute. It's what your brain does when it's keeping an eye out for any sudden dangers around you. Like if there's a sudden bright light or a loud noise, your brain notices it really fast. It's also what helps you know when your body isn't feeling right. Like when you have a tummy ache or a headache. Intentional attention is when you decide to focus on something. This kind of focus lasts a bit longer, but not more than 10 minutes. That might not seem like much time, but don't worry. You can make it last longer with some practice and effort. Oh, and just so you know, in this book, the author uses the words focus and attention interchangeably. They mean pretty much the same thing. So as we go on, remember that when we talk about focus, we're also talking about attention. Chapter 2. Setting goals. Why it's important for better focus and how to do it. You are probably rolling your eyes at this. You are all too familiar with goal setting and its different kinds. You have lost count of how many times you have heard of SMART goals and its variations, but there is a reason why goal setting is linked to better focus. It's because if you want to succeed at something, you need to know where you want to be. Do you want to improve your focus skills, but you do not have an aim? What a waste of skill that would be. Not to mention, you will not have concrete results. Setting goals helps you see clearly. You will become aware of what is worth your attention and what is not. You will be able to prioritize, and you will know what will benefit your future. Having clear goals can also motivate you to persevere. When you know what you want, you do not give up easily. The more committed you are, the better. The better your performance, the higher chance that you will succeed. Here are the 5 steps to set goals for a laser. Sharp focus. First, set your own meaningful goals. This sounds obvious, does it not? But most of the time, your goals are not your own. Maybe your goals are the ones set by your parents or teachers. The goals you're working on might seem like they are forced on you. So, what do you do to make these goals feel meaningful to you? You reframe them. For instance, your parents have always wanted you to become a doctor. It is not a goal you chose, but you pursue it anyway. The goal of being a doctor can be reframed. Your parents want you to pursue it since doctors always get hired. You can be financially secured, but ever since you were a kid, you have always wanted to do something creative. Maybe you could have grown up to be a painter or an artist. If you cannot go against your parents' wishes, reframe the goal of being a doctor. You can see it as an opportunity to give back. You can help people who cannot afford to go to the hospital. You can help the sick have a longer life. You can also see being a doctor as a means to an end. Being a doctor can make you financially secure. Since you have a steady income, you can pursue painting at a later time in life. You will have the opportunity to explore your creative side sooner or later. Second, set your goals as positive statements. Goals that are positive are most likely to be achieved. For instance, you notice how much unhealthy hours you spend on scrolling through your phone. Do not have a goal of saying that you will not use your phone. Instead, say that you will improve your productivity by being smart about your screen time. Do you have a hard time saying no? Do not say that you will stop volunteering for things. Instead, make a promise to yourself that you will prioritize projects that are more important to you. Third, set ambitious goals. There is a saying that the sky is the limit. Do not hold yourself back from having challenging goals. You will feel proud if you achieve it, for sure, but it will also increase your self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is your judgment on how well you can do a task. If you have a high self-efficacy, you will keep on setting challenging goals. Challenging goals get you into a state of flow. This concept was pioneered by the renowned psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. Flow is when you are fully immersed in the task at hand. Your focus is laser, sharp, and you feel positive emotions as you do the task. Meanwhile, the opposite of state of flow makes you bored and anxious. Fourth, make sure your goals are smart. Your goals should be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Not only does it make your goals clear and concrete, but it also sharpens your focus. Specific. Answer the 5 W questions in relation to your goal. They are who, what, where, when, and why. For instance, you want to finish 50 of your novel. Of course, it is you who will be writing it. What you will be doing is writing your novel. Where you will write it is either at home or at the office. When will be every other day of the week. Finally, you are writing a novel because it is something you have always wanted to do. Measurable. How will you measure your progress? Is it the number of words you can write in a day? Is it the number of hours you spend writing? Make sure to keep track of your progress. It will motivate and satisfy you. Attainable. Take a moment to assess yourself. Do you have the skills, knowledge, and education to get your goal? If there is a gap, will you commit to doing what it takes to reach your goal? Realistic. Do not underestimate how easy and short taking your goal will be. Most new entrepreneurs think that juggling a job and their side business would be easy. They did not realize just how exhausting it would be. So consider the physical, mental, and emotional implications of your goal. Then, set a realistic date of when you will achieve your goal. Timely. In other words, have a deadline. Deadlines motivate you to actually finish the work related to your goal. But having a deadline can also have a negative effect. Some people wait for the adrenaline that comes with working on a goal at the last minute. This can create a lot of unnecessary stress. It can also mean that your output will be rushed or mediocre. So it is ideal to have a systematic approach when it comes to a deadline. Know what your working style is, then set a time frame for it. In this way, you will not unnecessarily get stressed when the deadline is near. Fifth, start with the big goal and work from there. What is your ultimate goal? Is it something that you still doubt that you will achieve? Is it an intimidating goal? It does not matter. Just put it on a piece of paper and write it in big, bold letters. Or you can use a software. Whichever suits you. Then, right below your big goal, write down the 5 W's. Keep in mind that you should follow the SMART guidelines. At the bottom of the page, write your current progress. Are you still at 25 of your writing goal? Then, in between your big goal and current progress, map out the steps. The steps should help you get from where you are to where you want to be. This could include mini goals or milestones that are necessary to achieve your big goal. Do not forget to add a time frame or a deadline. Chapter 3. Motivation. Is it overrated? If you look up motivation online, you'll find tons of results, articles, tips on staying motivated, even wallpapers you can use as backgrounds on your devices. It's often assumed that you need motivation to succeed, and many people really believe in it. But the truth is, relying solely on motivation isn't as reliable as it might seem. In fact, you can absolutely achieve success without always depending on motivation. Motivation is all about feelings. If someone asks you if you're motivated to do something, you'd probably say yes. But what happens when that motivation isn't there? Motivation isn't there. Motivation is fickle. It's complex and changes from day to day. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. So using motivation as your main path to success can be tricky. Some people manage to succeed using motivation time and time again, but not everyone can, and that's okay. How can you tell if your struggle with a task is due to a lack of motivation? Well, if you find it hard to focus on something because you lack energy, feel lazy, bored, and just don't care about the results, it could be a motivation issue. But there's more to consider. Motivation isn't always consistent. You might start a task feeling interested and motivated, but as time goes on, that feeling might fade, and the task can start feeling burdensome. So, what can you do about this? First, it's helpful to understand how motivation works. From a psychological perspective, motivation can come from 2 places: intrinsic and extrinsic factors. Intrinsic and extrinsic motivation comes from within you. It's a deep, lasting motivation driven by your passions. Extrinsic motivation, on the other hand, comes from outside sources like rewards, avoiding punishment, or seeking approval. To really stay focused, you need a mix of both intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Finding the right balance is key. But what if you find that your motivation is mostly extrinsic? Relying solely on external rewards isn't ideal. While getting praise or rewards feels nice, that feeling doesn't last very long. Your motivation might drop over time. For instance, rewarding yourself with a treat for finishing part of a task can work initially, but it might not keep you motivated for the long haul. So, what's the solution? When you're mostly motivated by external factors, try to uncover the deeper reasons behind them. Let's take an example from the author's experience. Back in university, Joanna often forgot why she was studying. She was focused on passing exams and assignments. University can be tiring, even if your grades are good. That's when she reminded herself why she started in the first place. She wanted to become a doctor to help others. This intrinsic motivation pushed her to study and stop procrastinating. While external motivators might seem shallow, it's worth exploring their deeper aspects. Dig into your motivations and find the intrinsic reasons behind them. By doing so, you'll have a better chance of achieving your goals. Chapter 4. Managing your mind for laser. Sharp focus. Your emotions, like anxiety, excitement, or anticipation, can disrupt your focus. Ever tried to study with an exam looming in an hour, or listen to a lecture while thinking about an upcoming date? Emotions are strong, and can steer your mind away from where it needs to be. But here's the thing, you can use your feelings to your advantage. With emotions, you can maintain focus for longer periods too. Emotions add vibrancy to life. Remember how watching cute animal videos instantly brings happiness? That quick feeling contrasts with the delayed gratification from finishing a task. That's why procrastination can be so tempting. It offers an immediate good feeling. So how do you handle these emotions? Positive or negative? Emotions can become distractions. Here are 5 steps to better manage your emotions. Separate work and emotion. Leave work-related stress at the office and personal troubles at home. Don't let a negative event overshadow your entire day. While it's fine to be happy about something, try not to let the reasons for your happiness consume your mind outside of the office or home. Visualize leaving emotionally charged events behind as you close the door to those places. Clear your mind. Establish clear boundaries between work and home. Don't carry emotional baggage from one place to another. Activities like walking, reading, or listening to music can help clear your mind. Author Joanna finds walking refreshing, and you might find something that works for you. Prioritize sleep. Sleep is vital. It's when learning and memory consolidation happen. Don't glamorize lack of sleep as a sign of hard work. Sleep deprivation makes you irritable and reduces your ability to manage emotions. Short naps of 15-20 minutes can rejuvenate you. Scale down. Not everything needs your emotional energy. If you find yourself constantly upset or angry, reflect on what truly matters to you. Overreacting to small things drains your energy. Eliminate what's not essential. Social media, for instance, can be a time waster and a stress inducer. Emotional release. Before work, do an emotional dump. Release pent-up feelings without seeking advice. Letting a friend know you're not seeking solutions can help. Alternatively, write in a journal to unload your thoughts and feelings. Don't hold back. This activity can lighten your emotional load. For a wandering mind, here are 3 focus techniques. Declutter your mind. Just like a messy office is unproductive, a cluttered mind hampers focus. Cleanse your mind by organizing your thoughts. Use sticky notes or a notebook. Keep a notebook handy to jot down ideas that distract you from tasks. This helps you acknowledge the idea without losing focus. Identify, acknowledge, let go. When your mind drifts, realize it's happening. Say to yourself, I'm getting distracted by that thought. Then remind yourself to refocus on the task. Develop a physical action to signal this transition, like gently pinching your wrist or touching your nose. Remember, mastering these techniques takes practice, but over time, they become more effective in maintaining your focus. Conclusion: mastering laser. Sharp focus. Throughout this journey, you've delved into the key elements that contribute to achieving a laser-sharp focus. It's more than just adhering to a rigid schedule or relying solely on motivation. Let's recap what you've learned. 1. Understanding focus. Focus means directing your attention for extended periods. It's the cornerstone of productivity and success. 2. Setting goals. Goals provide direction and purpose. By setting meaningful, positive, ambitious, and smart goals, you gain clarity on what's worth your effort. 3. Motivation's role. While motivation is valuable, it's not a constant companion. Knowing intrinsic passion, driven, and extrinsic reward-based motivation helps you find the right balance for success. 4. Harnessing emotions. Emotions can disrupt focus, but they can also be harnessed for productivity. You've discovered how to channel your feelings effectively. Remember, maintaining focus is a daily practice, akin to building a muscle. Consistency is key, and each day you strengthen your ability to concentrate. Your potential is boundless, with endless opportunities awaiting your dedicated efforts. Don't let procrastination squander your potential. Stay committed, stay focused, find genuine motivation, and never give up. Your journey towards success is well within your grasp.